How's it going, Razmanites? Welcome to another episode of the Razman's Reality brought to you by Geeky.com. From now on, all episodes will be direct to YouTube but video uploads for the foreseeable future because I'm having motherboard issues and it just simply cannot handle any more rendering for the time being. I'll be surprised if it doesn't completely die again. And yes, I said again because it was completely dead for about 3 or 4 days there. I was able to pay $50 to get it looked at and set back in place, but yeah, I'm just having all kinds of issues. Really need to get a new system. If you go to my Facebook, you'll see more on that, and hopefully it'll get resolved rather quickly. And my Facebook, by the way, as always, is down below in the description box. Anyway, today is the first episode of a new series that I want to do. This may even be a daily series. It's at least going to be a couple times a week. And this eventually, when I get my computer situation straightened out, will be a podcast on a regular basis as well. It's going to be called The Reality of Sports. Why am I doing this? Because sports is probably my biggest passion in life other than film, and it's something that I've really gotten away from in recent years, and I want to get back to it. It's simple as that. And no reason I didn't do a lot of sports videos in the past is because I felt like by the time you got your opinions up, the news you're reporting on was outdated. But if I time all these right, I think that I can do it successfully. So, of course, if you're going to start a sports series, what better day to start it than February 2nd, 2014, and talk about and break down the biggest event in all of sports, the Super Bowl. This time, Super Bowl 48 from New York, New Jersey, MetLife Stadium. Everybody thought this was going to be the first ever quote-unquote cold weather Super Bowl because it was from the first ever quote-unquote cold weather city. Sorry, this is going to be the problem because I can't edit for the foreseeable future, so bear with me. But weather is not going to be a factor. Almost 45 degrees out with only precipitation being predicted for late in the evening. So this should be a great day for football. Let's break down this game and talk about this game. You have the most prolific offense in NFL history in the Denver Broncos versus arguably the greatest defense we have ever seen in the Seattle Seahawks in terms of physicality and athletes on all sides of the football. I believe the stat, and don't quote me on this, and I am going to get better at knowing stats if I'm going to be a sports personality regularly, trust me. But I believe that the stat is something like 21 touchdowns, and that's it for the entire season allowed by the Seattle Seahawks defense, counting the postseason as well. So you've got the most classic of all classic terms to talk about here. What is going to win a football game? Defense or offense? And before we get into predictions, before I give you my prediction rather, let me talk about what each team has to do to be successful. Seattle, they need two things. They need Russell Wilson to not be rattled, to stand up to the pressure of the biggest game of his life and just do what he does. He's small, he's elusive, he's fast, he's physical. If he can make plays and get Marshawn Lynch and the running game involved, their offense will be fine. Defensively, they just have to be themselves, not get intimidated by the fact that they're facing arguably the greatest quarterback of all time in Peyton Manning, and just go out there and play. And it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun to see Richard Sherman tonight going all night long with Kadarius Thomas and in probably some cases Wes Welker as well. That is going to be some fun stuff. Now, on the other side of the football, for the Denver Broncos, obviously defensively they're not nearly as strong as the Seahawks, so they've got to find new ways, new schemes that Seattle was not prepared for going into this to stop their offense. And as far as their offense, in order to keep that prolific offense alive and keep it running, Peyton Manning is going to have to constantly create formation after formation after formation that keeps the Seattle Seahawks defense guessing. I'm talking crossing routes, I'm talking short passes, I'm talking bunch formations. We're not going to see hardly anything that is very, very straightforward out of most offensive playbooks in this game, in my opinion. And yes, that means that we're going to hear a lot of Omaha, Omaha from Peyton. I don't know why that's become, and I apologize for my smartphone in the background there. I don't know why that's become such a phenomenon, but it has. And the reason I say that's because a lot of quarterbacks have used it. It's just Peyton is so loud, I guess, at line of scrimmage that it's taken on, sorry, a life of its own. But yeah, plenty of Omaha action tonight. And this game, really, it's a toss up. It could go either way. So when it comes time for predictions, because that's obviously where you have to end a discussion like this, I have to go with my gut. I believe defense wins championships. I don't believe that the Denver Broncos would have been able to be successful had they faced the Seattle Seahawks a bunch this season. They would not statistically be where they're at. And I gotta believe that at the end of the day, the Seattle Seahawks defense is just too strong for the Denver Bronco offense to overcome. That being said, I sentimentally am rooting for Peyton Manning because Peyton Manning has overcome more than any other quarterback to get to another Super Bowl. And if he wins this game, there will be no debate about it. And we'll definitely talk about it in tomorrow's Super Bowl reactions episode. Why I think this, but in my opinion, there is no debate about it because statistically it will be proven. If Peyton Manning leads the Denver Broncos to victory in Super Bowl 48, Peyton Manning is the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. And I am talking about everybody, and again, that's another topic for another time if he wins this game. But again, my gut instinct, Seattle wins this game. I am not the kind of personality, or choose to not rather be the kind of sports personality that is going to get into scoring because that's too difficult of a thing to do. But what I will tell you is how many points I think that each team is going to win a game by or overcome a scenario by, what you're going to see on the final scoreboard. So I think Seattle wins by a field goal in this game. This is reality according to the Razman and Razman style. It's not just a catchphrase, but a way of life.